Hi everyone, this is Pamela from Memphis FoodTrotter.blogspot.com, and we're here today to continue cooking our way through the Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook. And we're going to do one British pie or mini pies and with a side of Brussels sprouts and bechamel sauce. So we're going to start today with our chicken and mushroom pie. And the reason why we're doing this today, or why it's in this cookbook, is because in Harry Potter and the Blood Prince, Chapter 7, Professor Slughorn, he's on the Hogwarts Express and he's passing around a bunch of different pies. So we're going to choose to do the chicken and mushroom pie today. And we're going to begin. A pound of chicken thigh cut up, half a package of mixed mushrooms chopped, 1 small onion chopped, 1.5 cups of low sodium broth, Himalayan salt, cracked black pepper, 2 tablespoons of flour, and thyme. All right, we're changing wands today, and instead of my floor wand, I'm going to be using the one from Hermione, and we're going to go ahead and light our fire. Incendio! Add about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil or olive oil to your pan and wait for it to heat up. Add in your chopped white onion into the pan and wait for it to soften before you start adding the next ingredients. Add in your half a package of chopped mushrooms into your onions. And mine was a mixture of cremini, oyster, and shiitake mushrooms. But if you can't find that, you can just use regular button mushrooms. Once the onions and mushrooms have cooked down, add your seasoning. I did Himalayan pink salt, cracked black pepper, and thyme. Now add in 2 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to cook that out until you cannot see it anymore. It will start to act like a glue. Once you can't see the flour anymore, add in 1.5 cups of chicken broth or chicken stock. I use a lower sodium chicken broth. You're going to keep stirring until it's bubbly. Once the sauce is nice and thick and bubbly, add in your chopped pieces of your pound of chicken thigh meat. You can use breast meat, of course. Add in some salt, cracked black pepper, and thyme. And then you're just going to keep stirring until everything is nicely cooked. Again, you can use chicken breast. Once it's cooked, you need to let it sit and kind of cool off and go ahead and preheat your oven. I use my toaster oven to 375 degrees. Now, the cookbook does have a recipe for the pie crust itself. However, I just bought my pie crust from the store. I'm using a wine glass to cut out the tops of the pies. And here I'm using a larger sort of templates to cut out the bottom portion of the pie. I'm putting the larger circles into the bottom of my cupcake molds. Once you've placed the bottom of your pie circles into the cupcake molds, then generously fill each one with the chicken mixture. Put some water around the edges of your bottom pie circles, and it will act like a glue to stick with the smaller circle that you will have as the top part of your crust. Using your fingers, you're going to basically pinch the larger bottom circle of the pie around the top circle of the pie. Using a knife, mark an X in the center of the top portion of your pie. This is to let the heat out so that hopefully you will not have an explosion situation in your oven. I used my fingers to kind of just dab in a mixture of egg and water all around the top and edges of my mini pies. This will give it that nice golden brown color. Oven is go. Now my mini pies are in my toaster oven, which again was preset at 375 degrees, and they will cook for about 40 minutes. Now that we're waiting on our chicken and mushroom pies to be finished in the oven, we're gonna make our side vegetable item. That's Brussels sprouts with bechamel sauce. And this was inspired by Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in chapter 11, when Hermione, she hurries up to eat her lunch so that she can go to the library. And she had eaten lamb chops, potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. So that's what we're gonna do. And the first thing we need to do is boil our Brussels sprouts. Incendio! While our Brussels sprouts are boiling, we're gonna make the bechamel sauce. And it's gonna start with butter. Once the butter is all nice and foamy, you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to cook that until you don't see it anymore, and this will make your butter thick. Then you're going to add your cup of whole milk, and make sure you keep stirring so that it doesn't get too clumpy. Add your seasoning, salt, black pepper, and a pinch of nutmeg. You're just gonna stir until this is thick and bubbly. Let's see if our final product will appear. Axio! And here we have our final dish. We have some mini pies that are filled with chicken and mushrooms, as well as a side of Brussels sprouts with bechamel sauce. And just to finish it, I topped it off with cracked black pepper and dried parsley flakes. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Harry Potter Cookbook series. Please stay tuned next week for another food video. I'm going to add some video links into my description box as well as my blog. I hope you subscribe, and until next week, have a good day. Bye.